tits, bitch.
Hello, fiends and fiendettes. Welcome to the video portion of episode 88.
88, yeah. If you're on the podcast listening right now, turn it off.
Go watch it on YouTube because you've just experienced an hour of
Bullshit!
yeah.
Wow, how do we do this?
This episode's movie of the week is 2014's Unfriended.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate your boobies? Your boobies. Yeah. Let's keep this show going. I wanna see what I'm getting.
This movie is starring Shelley Hennig as Blair, Moses Storm as Mitch. That's such a badass name.
It really is.
Moses Storm. How is he not a superhero?
Is that really his name?
He should have superpowers. Will Peltz as Adam. Renee Olstead as Jess. Jacob Wisocki.
What?
Wisocki?
I have no idea.
As Ken. Courtney Halverson as Val. And Heather Sossaman as Laura. It was written by Nelson Greaves and directed by Levon Gabriads. Yes.
All right.
So, all right, I'll save that for later. But this movie starts with, and I love when movies do this. The Universal logo comes up, and they do something that has to do with the movie to affect it.
Yeah.
And in this case, you get like the glitchy
Screen
like
Terry.
buffer, like when something is not paused to buffer, but is like concurrently buffering while playing, and you get that like glitchy
Yeah.
blurriness to it.
Yeah, where like part of the movie has moved on, but there's part of the screen where it hasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
I don't, yeah. But so that's what happens to the Universal logo.
Yeah.
And then we get like a news article. I think it's a news article.
Well, it's right away. It's just the computer.
Well, yeah, it's on the computer.
And I don't. Is it a news article?
Because it's like video of
That's
Laura
right.
Barnes' suicide.
Yeah, and this is graphic.
Yeah. And it plays the video. So the thing about this movie is it's shtick. It's gimmick is that it's entirely the view of a
computer screen of Blair's computer screen.
yes.
And I was going to ask you, is the whole movie like this? But then I stopped myself because I'll just wait and see.
Yeah.
Because I thought for sure it wasn't going to be. But it, yeah.
So you get I mean
Yeah, well, so she's watching. Well, you don't know what's going on. You just see a person clicking around a screen.
yeah.
Like the old 90s intro to the Office Space, menu. And
No IT crowd.
IT crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then she watches the video. Then she goes to the video of why Laura Barnes killed herself, and she looks like she's gonna fight somebody. And then it gets to a scene where it's looking at a trailer. The camera person's looking at a trailer. She moves towards the trailer, then stops.
Because she gets a call.
Yep, she gets a
Skype. Kind of skipped over. She does watch the entirety of the suicide.
Yep.
And it's Laura standing. It looks like a baseball field.
It's like a basketball court, or like a recess court or something.
Yeah, and she's standing there. Kind of, it's like a profile shot. And she's got her hands out.
Yeah, at first it looked like she was cutting herself.
Yeah.
But that's not what she was doing.
Nope, she has a gun.
Yep.
And she shoots herself.
Uh-huh.
And my question is, why would you hold a gun like this all the way out?
And point at yourself?
And
like with your thumb?
Yeah, and shoot yourself that way?
I don't know. Why you would do it that way.
Huh. It just seemed
As
odd
opposed
to me.
like just putting the gun against your head
Or
under
in
your mouth or under your chin.
Yeah.
You should be an actor. Yeah, I don't know why. Honestly,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I don't know what the. I mean, it actually for me, it's the imagery of that is way worse than just putting a gun against your head. Watching her turn the gun because you don't see it, right?
That's
you don't
true.
See it. You're staring down the barrel of that gun. I mean, it seems to send more of a statement. I think.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna fucking do this, kind of a thing.
In any case, she successfully hits her target.
Yeah.
And she's dead.
Yep.
So then she's getting to the video, like we said, blah, 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 why she killed
Yep.
herself.
Stops the video.
Gets a
because she gets
Skype call.
Skype call from Mitch.
Yeah.
And Mitch is, they're not video at first. And she's like, ooh, I got something to show you. And she shows him the feet.
Does her demon voice.
Her demon voice.
Do you like what you see?
And then she slowly brings up more and more and more. And then she's about to whip the boobs out when their other friends call in. And she's like, oh, just answer it later.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah?
Very important plot point here.
Let's hear
It actually is a pretty important.
Really? Of course I missed it.
She decides, because they're all being all like hot and bothered and talking about blue balls
and how she gets blue balls, but
yep, and she doesn't want that anymore.
Yeah.
So she's decided prom night they're gonna
have sex.
pee in the fucking V.
Wow. You can't drink any more of these.
Brought to you by Bing.
Pee in the fucking V. What is?
So
Yeah, he's gonna.
she's doing a striptease.
Yeah.
And it's not weird at all that they're in high school and we're grown ass people watching it.
Well,
but they're not actually in high school.
No, they're
They're our age.
our age, but it was also 4 years ago. But
Yeah, it's fine.
but in
Yes,
any
then they
case,
get a group call.
yeah, and
But no.
yeah, they get her group.
Yes,
call,
they do, but
she's like, don't answer that.
no, and she clicks
Yeah,
decline.
She declines it,
Mm.
and we assume he does as well because he's about to whip his wiener out.
Yes.
And twist, like sprain his wrist on his wiener right now. But I got so many fucking. I sprained my wrist, and I got so many. Oh, you're jerking off at work? I'm like, yeah. You see me right? I'm right-handed. Come on. I fell down masturbating. That's why I sprained my wrist.
Yep. So yeah, the call ends up answering though. They're
Yes.
all like, "Whoa,
Hey,
what
what's going
you
on?"
getting that pee in the V for?"
Oh, and everybody's like, "Oh, you guys don't got your clothes on." And but hey, who's that guy? Who's that guy?
Yeah. So it's Jess, Adam, Ken, Mitch, Blair, and this mystery.
Yep, we don't know who it is.
Guest.
At first. Yeah, they don't have a name yet.
It's just like the blue profile with
Picture
a
on Skype when
silhouette.
you don't
Yeah.
set up a picture.
Yep. So she starts iMessaging Mitch and is like, "Who is this person?"
Yeah, well, they all start talking about who is this person. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it must be a glitch. Blah blah blah. They all hang up, come back.
Mm.
Oh, it's still there.
Yep.
So then they do some other thing and they get the thing off, but then it comes back. They go back and forth trying to call each other a few times.
Yeah, and eventually they do end up being like, "Oh, it must be a glitch, whatever," and
But-
having a conversation.
But
and
Mitch doesn't think that because Mitch doesn't respond to
Blair.
for a while, and she's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Even though they come in and out of the conversation together, he's like, "I just got a weird message."
Yeah, and while she's like, "Well, who from?" She then gets a message. on
Well,
Facebook.
He says Laura first before she gets a message from Laura.
Oh,
and then she
yes.
gets the message from Laura and looks. And so they're both getting messages from Laura who killed herself. The girl who killed herself. They're like, what the fuck's up with
And
this?
the message to Blair was, "What you watching?"
Yeah, what are you watching?
And she immediately goes and
deletes her history and all this and that.
deletes the history of that she was watching the suicide video.
So they're having other issues. Now, everybody else is kind of talking and making fun of each other or whatever, but Mitch and Blair are trying to figure this out. So she goes to try to memorialize her Facebook account so that because they think that somebody is hacked to the account.
First, Mitch sends her a link to unexplainedforums.net.
Yeah, and they see this story about people who's like ghosts can possess people, make you kill yourself.
It's all about do not answer messages from the dead.
From the dead, yeah.
Yep.
But it was too late. By the time she read that, she already responded to the person, the Laura message that came from Laura's Facebook Messenger.
And then Mitch is like, well, or she searches something about like hacked accounts of deceased people.
Yeah.
And then she finds the FAQ where it's like memorialize the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So she tries to do that,
but
types in all the information, links the news article, and that's where we first find out that there's some cyberbullying going on.
Yeah. Because, you see the article about cyberbullying causes a girl to kill herself.
Anonymous comments, yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing that you see is when she goes and puts all the information and hits submit, the system says, oh, something's wrong. And then she goes back and in the fields for address, this, all these different fields that she had to fill out that she put the information in, it just says, I got her. She just, I got her is typed over and over and over again in all these fields.
Yep.
She gives up on that endeavor.
Yep. And then Mitch is like, well, just unfriend her.
Yep. And she couldn't do that either.
Nope. The option was just grayed out and she couldn't click on it.
Yep. And so then they start getting messages from.
Well, she ends up refreshing the page and then it lets her unfriend her. Then she gets a message from the Laura account that says, you shouldn't have done that.
You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And then they bring in Val. Because they all think that because they find out the name's Billy something, and they're she's talking at this group, and they think I think that she starts showing them pictures and stuff, and they think it's Val at first, right?
Well, Blair is like, asks Mitch, have you heard or have you talked to Val today?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, why? And then, she ends up adding Val to the Skype call.
And we find out right away that nobody likes Val. And then what happens then is Jess starts posting pictures, but it's not Jess, but pictures start getting posted on Jess's Facebook of Val like super drunk and like drinkings and smokings the bongs and whatever, and they get in this big pissing match about it, and they're all fighting and this and that, and
Jess is like, I didn't post them, like I'm trying to delete them, but every time I refresh the page, they're back.
Yeah.
And then she finally does get them deleted, but then they post from Adam's account.
Yeah. And so she calls the cops.
Well, no, Val gets a message.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because
about something, but they never say what she
like,
got.
What do you want? And it's like Val to kill herself, something like that. Billy said or something, right?
Well, they all get or maybe it's just Blair.
Yeah.
Gets the message with the link to an Instagram photo, and it ends up being this Billy 772, whatever it is, Billy 227.
Yeah.
And it's of a conversation, like a text.
That's right. And then
of Laura being like if it was you that posted the video, please delete it. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I was mean to you. Could you please delete that? Because I think in that video where she's talking about fighting somebody, I think she's talking to Val.
Oh.
I think that's who she's talking to. About that's who. She's
it wasn't
fight.
really clear.
So she goes, "I'm sorry I was mean to you. Could you please do that?" And Val says, "How about you go kill yourself?"
Yes.
And well, she did. So yeah. So Val sees that, and she's like, "Okay, I'm being harassed." Calls the cops. This and that, and people are like, "Oh, what's this?" And then people started typing, like other people started commenting on that picture on Val's thing and saying, "You're a piece of shit. You deserve this." Blah blah blah. And
you should die.
Yeah.
Like,
and then then she gets cut off from the call, and they're like, "What's going on?" So the cops were coming out, and then they call her back, and she's not answering her phone. But then she comes back in the phone call, but it's just a still picture of her, and I noticed right away there's a bottle of bleach next to her.
Yeah, with the cap off.
With the cap off, and she looks very dejected. And then the camera cuts back in, and she just falls, knocks the computer over. The cops come in. They're like, hey, can you hear us? Can you hear us? And they cut the computer off. And
they're listening to it. All the people in this Skype call are listening to it, and they're listening to the police say their codes.
Yeah, and that's how they're figuring out.
So Blair is like jumps over to police like
scanner codes.
Yeah, all the different codes, and eventually it's like it's a time check, then it's a mental case, and then it's a suicide. Yeah,
and they rule it a suicide right there. So they're like, "What the hell?" And then Billy's like, "You guys want to play a game?" And so the next couple scenes are them trying to get rid of this Billy, and she's like, "Don't do that." Billy's like, "Don't do this," and she's also kind of texting stuff to Laura and Mitch and stuff. That's Billy. Well, Laura. I mean to Blair and Mitch and stuff. But Kenneth gets them to put on this Trojan blocker thing, and they were able to remove the whatever. But they're worried about their friend Val. But
they're at one point. Blair is talking to or chatting, iMessaging with Mitch, and she's like, "Well, you didn't know Laura like I did."
Yeah.
Because there's something with like Laura had made a video basically calling out all these anonymous posters for being like, if you're gonna make fun of me, like do it to my face.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Yeah. And they used Mitch was using that as like an example of why Laura was a bad person.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, you fucking assholes were the ones doing this to her.
Yeah. Well, and Blair started to type stuff and then would stop and type. The idea, obviously, that they were conveying there was that Laura had been molested by her uncle. Is what I pulled from that. Her uncle, she had family stuff. It doesn't matter now. That's what she ended up typing.
It doesn't outright say that she was molested by her uncle, but the way that she was typing it.
It seemed she was dealing with family. Oh, maybe the uncle died. I don't know, because she said family stuff. But just when you hear about family problems and uncles, it's usually like that drunkle who is not supposed to
get
touch
a little
kids.
handsy.
So then when does Ken start walking back and they catch him on the camera? Okay, so I think it's now.
It's after. It's when they do the whole like flagging program. Because the Laura account is like, you guys, let's play a game, and then Ken's like, oh yeah, we'll play a game. Yeah, we're totally gonna play a game. So you guys just download this game quick, and we'll play.
Yeah, and they mute their microphones, and so the Billy turns all the microphones back on. It's like, nice try, guys. But he gets the Trojan thing to work. They get rid of the thing. And then the Billy comes back and says, you shouldn't have done that or something again. And then Billy's backing up. And the camera, she comes back in. Billy comes back in, but her camera's on.
Before that, Adam tries to call the police.
Yeah.
And a woman answers and is like, yeah, like your standard stuff.
Yeah.
And then she's like, don't hang up.
So it's obviously like,
I said, don't hang up.
Yeah. Because people are trying to hang up from the call. She's like, don't hang up.
Yep.
And so Ken Ken hung up, I think, right? And then he comes back on, and the camera comes on, right? And so Billy comes back in and with the camera on, and they're like, "We can see you dumbass."
Yeah.
And then, but then, like, what? It looks like lattice. Blah blah. Then Billy moves to do something, and they catch him on the camera. Like, wait a minute, Billy, move back, and then he's
in his room.
It's in his room, so he starts digging around, gets in there. This was fucking terrifying. So he's crouched down and looking, and his face just goes red, and he's just like got this stark look of fear on his face, and then it cuts out.
Yes.
And then it comes back, and he's smashing his own face off the computer keyboard and this and that. Then it cuts out.
It happens a few times in the movie where they'll lose a connection or someone will drop off, and then there'll be like a few moments where it connects and it's just like that circular like waiting thing for something to happen. Like
with their
sometimes
terrible profile picture.
Yeah, sometimes they'll have their profile pictures. Sometimes it's just black with the little spinny thing.
Well, he comes back and he's bashing his own head off the computer.
Yes.
Then he comes back and then goes out and comes back and he's sticking his hand in a blender.
Yeah.
Then he breaks the blender. Then the next scene is him putting his neck up against the blender. Then it cuts out. That was the most like holy shit part of that movie. You know, everything else after that was like okay, but that was like what the fuck?
And it wasn't super graphic.
No.
But I mean there was still blood and all that.
Blood and all that. The implication was good enough for me.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was sticking his hand in there, fingers are going all over. It's just it was just kind of like bloody.
Yeah.
Not really gory, just
but
more.
But the camera quality is bad because it's just like a shitty webcam thing, you know?
Which is cool because it kind of makes it forgives the lack of gory effects, whatever you want to.
Good way to hide it.
Yeah, good way to hide it without I don't know. Yeah,
sure, I got you.
Yeah.
Then they all agree to play the game, and they decide to play Never Have I Ever.
What before?
Oh shit!
Before that,
yeah.
Adam is freaking out, and then he hears knocks.
Oh, that's right.
On his door. So he's like, "What the fuck? Like, no one's there."
Gets a gun,
and then he hears more knocks, and they're from a different place in his house. Lights turn off on their own in his house. And then we get the rest of the video of why Laura killed herself.
With the poop?
Yep.
Oh, that's when that comes up?
Yep. So it starts off, and Blair is trying to close out the video. She closes it, and it's like pop-up windows.
Yeah, but that's her saying, I'm going to beat your ass over and over again. It's Laura saying, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to kick your ass.
So she's trying to close this video, and she tries to force quit Google Chrome, which is her browser of choice. And
doesn't work.
Then it just gets stuck on the video, and it keeps on playing.
Yeah.
So it picks up where...
You get up to the camper.
Yep.
Come around the camper, and Laura's passed out next to it with poop on her butt.
A lot of poop.
Yeah, poop all over the place.
Yep.
Lots
and
of poop.
The camera person goes down to her face, and she like holds a finger up to her lips, and then the camera goes back to her poopy butt, and it says, "Leaky Laura, kill yourself."
Yep.
Which, it's not great. I don't know if it's something to kill yourself over, but
yeah. Why would that? I don't know if kids are really this bad, but man. But yeah. So then we get them agreeing to play the game.
Yes, never have I ever.
Yep. And they have to explain to Blair what the game is. It's a drinking game where you say "never have I ever" and then a question, and then you have five. You hold your fingers up and you put a finger down. And the rule of this game was the person who loses dies. And and Blair understands that this ghost thing or something can possess you, make you kill yourself. I mean, she's reading this article, but she never told anybody, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because she doesn't believe it, but like it is obviously something weird's going on. But
you're talking the ghost website
for the unsolved mysteries, whatever it's called.
Yeah, unexplained forums. Yeah.
But So they start asking a series of questions, and obviously this whole setup is just to get them to bite at each other.
Yes, because it goes through like, I started a rumor that Blair had an eating disorder,
Yep.
and
so basically the Mitch, Jess, and Blair are like losing fingers. Not losing them, but they're
putting down.
They're
fingers.
putting down fingers, and Adam hasn't had to do anything yet. But then
Adam gets fed up because the last few were like Mitch sold out Adam to the cops for selling
Yes.
weed, and Jess stole $800 from Adam, and
yep, and they're all getting mad at each other for all
Yeah.
different things. And then finally he's like, never have I ever slept with my best friend.
no. First he's like, never have I ever had sex.
sex. And then so Blair has to put her finger down, and Mitch is like, what? And then it was like, never have I slept with my best friend's friend or whatever, or my
Best
boyfriend's
friend.
best friend.
Yeah.
And then she had to put another finger down. Then at this point Adam loses it. And then but before too there were pictures showing that.
Oh yeah, she does get messages
Yeah.
from Laura that's
But
like,
yeah.
shows her and Adam in bed together.
Yeah, and so they were drunk, and she's like, "We were drunk. It didn't mean anything." Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And they get that gets heated for the next couple minutes of this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then Billy posts a video on YouTube of Blair having sexual relations with
Adam.
and then Mitch is like super pissed, and all this is going on now. Is this where we get the faxes?
The faxes come in, yes.
A fax comes to Adam, and Adam's like, I can't tell you what it says.
Yep, and Blair also gets
Then
a fax.
Blair gets one, and she's like, I can't tell you what it says. And
Mitch
like,
is freaking out because
You
he
guys can't have
thinks
any
that
secrets.
they're having secrets and
Yeah.
whatever. So she's like, no, I'm serious. You don't want to know what this is.
yeah, and so
I can't show you.
He said, if he leaves, he'll die.
Yes.
So he goes, I'm leaving unless you show it to me. And she's like, you do not want to see this, and you got to show me. So she shows him at the last second,
Yes.
and it says, if you show this note to anybody,
Adam
Adam
dies.
So Adam grabs a gun and blows his brains out. And then Jess is like, oh my god, blah, blah, she's mad at her, and blah, blah, blah. Then they continue the game.
Yep, and it's never have I ever defaced Laura's grave.
Yep, and that was Jess. And so Jess is being pursued by the ghosty ghost monster. She hides in a bathroom, and so Blair goes to chat roulette.
Yes.
And tried to get somebody to call the cops. Successfully get somebody to call the cops.
Not without at least one dick in there. Didn't show it.
They didn't show up, but the penis was coming.
Yes.
But and then so then it's too late. The ghosty shows up, and then it cuts out. Jess comes back as her picture, cuts out, comes back, and she's
Got a curling iron in her throat.
jammed down her throat, and then
Did you also? It looked like her hand was in like the bathtub with some water.
maybe she's being electrocuted. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either.
But then somebody posted up like a meme style thing that said, "Looks like Jess finally," and then
STFU.
underneath, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And so now it's just down to
Mitch and
Laura, and so Blair and Laura, and so. But how do they get Mitch?
Because Laura's like, never have I ever, or she just.
Never have I ever posted the video online, and she starts bitching.
I don't think she says that though.
But then, because I thought that's what she said, because then Laura's like, "Why are you protecting him, Blair?"
Yeah.
And because he was the one that posted it,
Right.
and so why are you protecting him? Which makes sense when you get to the end. Why he was the one that maybe could have had access to post it.
Yeah.
So, why are you protecting him? And then it's too late for him.
She starts typing responses like, "I promise he had nothing to do with it," but she doesn't send it. She just types it.
Yeah.
And I liked when they did that with this movie because it's like she gets
You
her
see
thoughts
train of
out.
thought,
Yes.
But Laura can read those thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you doing? But he doesn't admit to it, and he
At the very last second, she goes, "It was him."
Yep. And then, but it's too late. And
He
stabbed himself in the face.
Takes a knife, slams it on the desk, slams his face into
he
it.
holds a knife against it and slams his face against it like in Batman, but with a pencil.
Want to see a magic trick?
And it's gone. But so yeah, he
then some nice music starts playing because there is no soundtrack to this movie.
Nope. Just stuff off of Spotify.
Yep. Occasionally you'll get this like rumble that is ripped directly from Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
But
yeah. It might even be the same.
it sounds like the exact same noise. But
I didn't mind that. Like
no,
little bit of a fourth wall sound cue kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
where's that coming from?
Every time Laura would kind of show up, it would happen.
Yeah.
So then some sort of like...
Well, then Laura says, so there's just one more thing. And then the counter starts again.
Yeah, some happy music is playing. Not happy, would you describe
somber.
it as?
I would describe it as somber.
Yeah.
But, well, for the setting, it was somber, definitely.
Yep.
And Blair's like, what is it? What is it? I'm sorry we drifted apart.
What do you want? Like, what is this countdown? And...
I'm sorry we drifted apart.
She frantically goes to her Facebook page and is like showing all these pictures of her and Laura.
Yeah.
And it's like, we were sisters, like...
Yeah. And so...
how could you, like, did you forget this? And Laura's like, how could I forget this?
How could I ever forget this? And
Yeah.
so she writes, I know we drifted apart. And then Laura writes, drifted apart, ? In quotes. Watch the rest of the video.
Is that what you? Is that how you remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's a little bit more to this story. Then you watch the rest of that video, and you find out that the camera person was Blair.
Yes.
And she says, "I got her." And so at that point, that's it for Blair. She just gets sucked into a black hole or something like that.
Well, then we get
then it's the prequel to Paranormal Activity 17.
Yeah, what happens?
She slams her book shut.
And, well, it's like Blair doesn't shut the book.
Like two hands come down and shut it.
Yeah, and then kind of backs away but disappears into the background.
Yeah.
And then you get an overhead, like, rah! And it's, I couldn't tell if it was Blair or Laura.
I think it was supposed to be Laura.
Yeah. But it's like a demon, like...
Yeah, she's a deadite now.
Yeah, deadite.
But, yeah. So,
So I had originally watched this movie...
Yesterday, right?
Yesterday, and I was like, yeah, fuck, man. And I was just ready to talk about it in the what we were doing part.
Yeah.
And then as we were trying to find a movie to watch today... I was like, oh, fuck. Like, the more I think about it, like, you need to see this movie.
And you know what? I liked it. I liked how they did that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, for a Paranormal Activity, like, a Ouija, like, feeling movie, like, it feels like a modern horror movie. You know, very typical modern horror movie. But it was such a cool, interesting take on it. Like the way they did it, the way they shot it, the way they presented this whole movie from the computer. I thought it was like the best and longest episode of Black Mirror ever.
Well, because so much emotion is conveyed through the way her mouse moves, the way she types, the way she hovers on the reply buttons and all of that. Like,
yeah, that was awesome. It was
so
really
much
good.
more is conveyed through that than like a sweeping, like the way a normal movie is shot.
Yeah. And so and so it was interesting that way. The other thing I thought was interesting, now, you know, this is not the first movie to touch on bullying and stuff like this with, like, you know, younger people.
Yeah.
But this one was like the person bullied was like one of the cool people.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of a weird thing. Usually it's like the nerdy kid gets bullied till they lose it, you know. But this was like one of the cool people gets bullied, but they end up being way more fragile than it seemed. You know, they had this hard exterior, I'll kick your ass, but they were actually super fragile because of home life stuff, you know, this
molestation and all that.
Yeah.
Which none of the other people knew about, which I think adds to it where it's like, yeah, you didn't know what she was going through.
Yeah. So stop being a dick. Yeah. You know, don't be a dick to people is the message of this movie. Don't be a dick. You don't know what another person is going through. You know, don't be a dick. And so, you know, it was a revenge flick even. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, as a revenge flick. I think I thought it was well shot. The acting was good.
And it,
You know,
so I did not lose any, like, I enjoyed it just as much watching the second time, and that's 2 days in a row.
Here's the other thing now. I'm tired after work. And I've dozed off here sometimes, like just like dozed a little bit during movies that I love. And I stayed awake the whole time for this.
Well, because I think that's another thing with this, the way it's shot, or the entire movie, is that it kind of forces you to pay attention, because so many details are going on at once.
A degree of investigation going on at the same time by Blair and stuff, you know. And the way this movie was shot was good. This was done very well. I can't believe, like, I didn't see this movie because it sounded fucking stupid.
It does,
you know,
absolutely.
It's just like, you know, it's like, oh, Unfriended. I literally thought it was like, I didn't know it was about like a suicide bullying thing. I thought it was just somebody got mad for being unfriended, and it was kind of like, you know, some goofy. I thought it was going to be some spoofy, goofy little, you know, Jawbreaker stuff. I like Jawbreaker, but like something like along like those like Mean Girls kind of a thing. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Mean Girls with murder. Yeah. You know, that's what I thought it was going to be. I was wrong. This movie is good.
Well, and it actually makes it. It doesn't have that many plot holes, because even like when she goes to that paranormal website, whatever it was, it talks about like to get rid of a ghost, like the ghost probably needs like closure.
Yeah.
So that ultimately is what
is going on.
Is all what it's all about.
Yeah.
Because Blair tries to sort of confess.
Yeah.
That was the word. In the middle of the movie. Yeah. She tries to confess, but it's not really what Laura is after.
Yeah.
And at the end, then it just ties itself together. And
so everybody thinks that these kids are pieces of shit, and they all committed suicide on the anniversary of the suicide of what somebody they thought was their friend. But what you find out is that all these people were pieces of shit, like stealing money, selling drugs from each other, you know, like
starting rumors
about this, sleeping with each other's boyfriends, you know, starting fights, shitting on themselves. I mean, all these people, like, you know. And they drank like a ton. Like they were, you know, they were the partying whatever kids. But you know, Blair tried to be the innocent.
Crashed Jess's mom's car when she was drunk.
When she was drunk, and then didn't take the. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things they did. When I got to that, when you find out like how shitty these people, why are they even friends? Like why? Why are they?
I mean,
even
clearly
friends?
that. I mean, besides Val, but they didn't really seem to like Jess all that much either.
Well, they all treated Jess like a slut. She's like, you slept with the whole football team.
Right.
You know, and stuff. And she's like, I dated two guys from the football team. And dating in high school is dumb anyways, because it's like, you know, it's like, let's go on a date. It's like, okay, well, that means you're a fucking couple after one date. It's like, that's not how dating works. It's like, hey, are you? You know, I went on a date with a guy or whatever. It's like, it doesn't mean you're a fucking couple,
right?
You know, but
and then when you think about it, though, the fact that they're all sort of connected with Laura's death, even though they may not talk about it,
not really even. Like,
but they all got together to anonymously comment.
They all
to kill herself.
Yeah, they all made, and they thought they were joking. But she took it seriously.
Or that was an excuse to make Blair feel better about it.
Yeah, well, because like, because Blair and her, they were childhood friends, but you know, drifted apart. And why would she do it? You know, like and she said, well, everybody was doing it, so we just did it too. But just like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
you know, I mean, I just like that. If there's a plot hole there, it's like, if I found my best friend. Even if because for example, me and my best friend barely talked during high school. He went to a different school than me. We had different interests.
Yeah,
you know that. But if I went to a party with him, like we ran into each other, or whatever, even if even having drifted apart, if I found him behind a camper with shit on his pants, I wouldn't videotape it and then put it on the internet.
Yeah, that is definitely a negative. It doesn't really get into why Blair and Laura fell apart. Like,
Yeah, but and maybe
not that it's super important,
Sure.
but
and maybe Blair Lily thought, oh, she shit her pants. That's funny, like
Yeah.
like a ha 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 kind of a
Yeah.
thing, But like it escalated to this like kill yourself shit, which that's fucking terrible. Don't tell people to kill themselves.
Yeah.
'Cause like I said, you don't know what a person's going through. Telling a person to kill themselves
right.
is a fucked up thing to do because you just don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I thought it was good. I mean,
I thought it was great.
For yeah, that's a good movie.
The only thing I think detracts from it is the high school drama of it all.
Where else would you do this movie? What other time frame in a person's life, like at work, could you do a bunch of work friends?
Yeah.
As an adult, as a bunch of work friends, like
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Yeah, you think so?
I mean, it wouldn't.
I just don't
it
think
wouldn't have the same
effect.
I don't think.
Yeah. Well, because at work where I work, 2 dudes shit their pants at work, and nobody made fun of them for it. At least to their faces.
Yeah,
but like,
I suppose that's true. I suppose that's true.
I think that as adults, that kind of shit, I don't think happens as adults. Well, maybe it does, because we're adults, but there's trolls still that are our age, So maybe in this day and age, yes, but like I feel like maybe the setting isn't right. Well, that's why it's perfect. It's the internet. So like maybe somebody you work with that seems like a happy-go-lucky nice person is actually a piece of shit on the internet, making fun of everybody or whatever, like trolling or whatever. Or something, so maybe you could do it that way.
So there is going to be a sequel to this movie called Unfriended Dark Web. So I think we'll get to see an answer to that because I don't think it's going to be a high school based thing.
Maybe you could do. I think you could pull off. Yeah, you could do it in college. You could have done it in college, but I think that it's you still need that dynamic of person that
you need like a group of friends.
Yeah, that treat each other like shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how else you would do that. I mean, like, how else could you do that? You know what I mean? Like, because that entity needs that background information to turn these people on each other. Kind of a thing. I mean, if like the other,
they need to be a part of the group.
Yeah. So somebody in the group of friends has to die. But that group of friends has to be pretty shitty to each other. Because if they're nice to each other, what are they going to do? Hey. I mean, maybe it could be something where they let the person die by accident or something, and they're coming back because they're mad about that. I don't know. I just don't.
Or they actually killed the person.
Sure. I know what you did last summer. That's what it becomes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I know what you did last summer on the internet.
Yeah, the acting was pretty good.
Acting was pretty good. I can't think of anything that was super.
Adam was a little over the top, but
yeah, he kind of was really heavy-handed with the like dude bro kind of thing,
Yeah, you could excuse it by saying, well, his character was supposed to be drunk, like
oh sure, that's
that
right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ken,
They should have showed him drinking. That would have helped.
They did.
Oh, did they? I missed
He drank occasionally. Ken was your typical like kind of stoner jokester.
Yeah.
Computer nerd.
Yeah, which is funny. Which I think fits too because like being the computer nerd is cool now. Now, but back when I was in high school, it wasn't cool to be in. Like I was the AV club. Just basically, I knew how to hook VCRs up in sound equipment, so they would just be like, "Hey, you want to get out of class?" I'm like, absolutely. Go hook this thing up.
That reminds me. There are a couple of moments where they voice like what the audience would be thinking. Like there's the one part where she gets the email from Laura and it's like a link to whatever, and she's screen sharing at the time.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of staying on the page. And then after a while, they all like yell, "Click the fucking link!"
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's pretty clever.
I liked it. I thought it was good. Give it an award. What are you gonna give it?
I'm gonna go gold.
I, unfortunately, am going to have to agree with you, so we can't debate on this. I also give it a gold. I think it's a great movie.
You ever seen Night Watch and Day Watch?
Is the Russian movies?
Yeah.
No, I've not seen those.
Well, in any case, this movie was produced by Timur. I can't pronounce his last name.
I want to watch one at Night Watch and Day Watch now.
Yeah.
To see what they're like.
Yeah. They're nothing like this.
Sure.
But
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, they're like zombie vampire movies or something, right?
yeah, kind of.
This movie is really good. I'm impressed by this movie. I mean, it's no Shining, it's no Platinum. You know, it's a far cry from a. Well, I mean, not a far cry, but it's not a Platinum. I wouldn't go that far. But
I don't. Part of me kind of thinks like, well, was I had that low of expectations that because it was this good that it's just all of a sudden, whoa, that much better. But no, I think the concept and what they pulled off with that concept, pretty fucking great.
Yeah, because even the concept, if somebody were to tell me that, oh yeah, the whole movie is from the screen of a person's computer, like that's fucking dumb.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
Yeah,
but then to actually see it, like, oh shit, that was well done.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, to catch the emotion and the skittishness and everything of the mouse clicks and the typing, it was just like, wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
You know? And so, yeah, good job. Gold. Watch this movie.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, it's good. Gold, good.
Get at us on Twitter at ScreamFiends. Let us know what you think of Unfriended if you've seen it. Let us know what you want us to watch next. Patreon.com/ScreamFiends. You can donate if you would like. We love your support. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on iTunes, Google Play. All that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. From us at Scream Fiends, so long and bye.
You tell me I'm untrue and good for nothing too. My, how you lie, lie, lie. You say you're never late, but still I wait and wait. My, how you lie, lie, lie. You say you love me, but I can't see your way. If you'd stop lying, everything could be okay. You told me we were through, but honey, knowing you, my, how you lie, lie, lie. You said you owned a yacht, a car, a house and lot. My, how you lie, lie, lie.